You're listening to 101 with Tommie Zam. On the 80th episode, we sit down with Rodney Torres talking about skateboarding and life. Let's do this. Hey, what's up, Rodney? How you doing?
What's up, Tommy? Tommy, what's up? How you doing, man?
Good. How's everything in NYC?
Still cold.
Hold on, what? It's still cold?
Yeah, but it's gonna change. This weekend is supposed to be like in the 60s, like or a high of 60, which is pretty good, you know. But I just got back from Colombia, so I'm just kind of chilling through the weekend. I'll probably get back on the board sometime next week.
Man, I mean, you're saying cold. I mean, I guess it's good to living in San Diego where we don't even know what cold weather's like.
You guys have amazing weather there, like beautiful weather, beach weather, and all that. It's super nice over there. I haven't been to San Diego in a long time. I will make my way back there though at some point.
Right. Well, if you come back here, we gotta get some California burritos, man.
Oh hell yeah, I'm down. I'm gonna hold you to that too.
Hey, you can, you can definitely 100%. I mean, I don't want to brag about the weather. It's like today was like 70 in the day and 60 at night. So
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm not trying to, hate on the weather here. I was just, in Colombia for a little while, and it was like 80 degrees every day, 90 degrees. It was like, sometimes it was just unbearable, like the heat out there. But it was just, it's the Caribbean, beautiful weather and like vibes and all that. So it was good times.
It was that humidity that what killed you, right?
It's not really humidity. It was just more just straight up like heat. Like I got burned a few times trying to like get a clip or something, at a spot. And it's like noon and you shouldn't even be out around that time.
Oh,
like
man.
that. Yeah, it was just like so hot. But that was occasionally, like, my time there was it was beautiful. I linked up with some homies from that I've known for a while. I made a lot of new friends and we skated when we could, but it rained like 90% of the time that I was there.
Really?
Yes. I think the winter there is that. It's like just constant rain.
Okay. So when it's winter here, it's summer over there.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. It was like it was the two extremes. It was just like either thunderstorming and downpouring, or it was unbearably hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only person in Cali, Colombia. That's where I went. That's where my mother's from.
Okay.
I went out there, and I was the only one, out of everyone that I know, and the people I've met along the way while I was there. I was the only person, pretty much like on vacation. Mm-hmm. So, waiting around for people was kind of like what I had to do. I had to adjust and adapt and just kind of like, if I really was like fiending to skate, obviously they have a skate park there, which is great. I can go there and like mess around or whatever, which I did most of the time. And then whenever we could go street skating was usually on Sundays. But it rained, like I said, a lot of it. I was there 2.5 months, and I think a month and a half of my time there, it rained.
So what would you do during the rain time? Did you go fishing? Did you go like
no fishing? No. I literally hung out with my boy Alejo or Alejandro.
Uh-huh.
He owns like the main skate shop in that part of Colombia. It's called Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's who like I basically was staying with as well when I went out there. Like I have family out there, but I went out there to skate. So I planned with him so we can try to like get something going. And like I said, it just rained the majority of the time. It was just kind of like not really bad timing because I had a great time. But most of the time since I wasn't skating, I'd be hanging out with him at his shop. And then after hours, like since he was looking out for me, I'd look out for him. Maybe I'd take him out to dinner or like link up with other homies and we'd all go get some food and just keep it very like casual for the most part, just hanging out and getting familiar with like how everyone moves out there, you know.
And what's the culture like out there?
It's very laid back, it's very simple. There, I mean, like anywhere, there's, you know, like anywhere in the world, there's like dangerous areas, I guess you could say. But because I was
Mhm.
with like locals and the right people and skaters primarily, like it was all good. We were just kind of just hanging out, really. It was very laid back and mellow, and like everyone just wanted to skate when they could, and that's pretty much all we did when we could. And then the rest of the time, just chilling, getting some dinner or lunch or whatever, you know, keeping it very casual and laid back.
Dude, because I watched that little clip, that little edit that you made. Now that's a pretty sick little edit, you know.
Thank you. I edited that myself. My boy Alejo and this other dude, Nando, we call him. His name is Fernando, but we just call him Nando. And the other homie Remy, they filmed a couple of the clips, and then I just like filmed the B-roll stuff and just edited the clip when I had the time and whatever, decided to post it. But the spots out there are amazing. I just wish I had more time, or within the time I had, I wish there was better weather and opportunity to go skate those spots. But it's not going to be my last time going to Colombia, because that's pretty much my lineage. You know, my mother's from that part of Colombia, which is Cali, Colombia, and my
Hmm.
father is from Medellin,
Oh
so
wow,
which is like a 8 hour drive north from Cali. Cali is like the Miami, and Medellin's like the New York. And I have yet to go to Medellin. I've never been my entire life.
really?
Yeah, I've only been to Cali. That's it. So
Man,
I hopefully, if everything works out, I'll be back there at the start of 2027.
okay.
You
And
know,
and and when's the? Did they tell you when's the best time to come? When it's not raining or when the weather's
well,
better?
it's kind of like Caribbean weather, so it's pretty much always like that.
Hmm.
But I guess it was more often this time around, and that's
Mm.
where, you know, no one planned for that. No one knew. I didn't know. They didn't know. But they were like, yeah, this time around, it definitely has rained a lot more than usual. And I was like, oh, wow. But, you know, it wasn't my first time there. It was like my fifth time there. And there have been other times where I've gone, but I've gone with families. So it was just to go and like visit. It wasn't for skateboarding or my own personal like agenda. It was just go out there and check it out with the fam, and it
Hmm.
was beautiful weather. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't raining like crazy. It was just kind of like in the middle, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so that's the luck of the draw, I guess. But yeah, hopefully next time I get out there, it's not so the weather's not so severe, you know,
Yeah.
because it definitely limited my skate time there like extremely. You know,
Mm.
like if I want, like there's a clip, for example, in that little edit I made, I did a fakie manual, like fakie flip, right, on
Yeah.
some little manual over some stairs. That was super early in the morning because, again, if you're out trying to skate by like 11 a.m., you're already getting fried in the street by the sun and the heat.
Hmm.
And this was like, there were a couple of instances where I met up with my boy Nando at like 8 in the morning, you know, and it was just by 10 in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I can't take it. I can't. Let's get out of here. Like, we'll come back another time, or let's come back later in the afternoon, or right before it gets dark, you know, just because it was just that unbearable.
Hmm.
For that clip, I had like prior to getting to the spot, I had stopped at to buy some water, and I bought like three big bottles of water. And by the time I was riding away, I had already like poured the water on my head, drank all of it. Like it was so unbearable. And I just don't know how that even happened, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy. It reminds me of
yeah,
Florida weather.
yeah, that's exactly why I said Cali is like Miami or like Florida, and
Hmm.
Medellin where it is more like the big city. It's, you know, it's more like New York. But other than not, being kind of restricted or limited with my skate time there, I really had a great time. It was cool being there, getting a little bit more familiar with like the area, like the main areas, like and just meeting like all the people I've met, like all the skaters, and it was just like a beautiful experience, and all of that came from not skating, just from
Mhm.
connections, meeting people, talking to people, having a good time, having some laughs, getting invited to some uh, a homie had a birthday party, and he invited me over, so like little house parties and things like that.
What?
Just getting familiar with everyone and how they move and operate and how things, just how they live out there. You know, that to me was beautiful. These are like memories and friendships that I think I'm gonna have
Oh yeah,
forever.
definitely. I mean, definitely doing something like that. Going out to your family's country, and
Yeah,
and experiencing not just on a family trip, but on a skate trip. And experiencing like a whole different level of just a family trip. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like the friends I made, the old friends I had, and then the new friends I made. I felt like all I did was grow my family there. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? That's what it felt like. It felt like I just grew my extended family, and it's like motivating for me to go back to Colombia, uh, to just experience more of it. You know.
And what's the favorite dish out there? What's the most popular food they like to eat out there?
Well, for me, it was like the local stuff, like the typical plates, the like whatever, the rice, the beans, the meat, the salad, like the typical plates. But there's a lot of American businesses out there.
Really?
There's a lot, yeah. There's a lot of burger joints, pizza joints, and I guess if you grow up there and you're primarily eating like the home cooked meals and that type of food, if you're out and about with your homies, you're gonna want to go get pizza. You're gonna want to go buy burgers and things of that nature, because it's so common over there to like go to a bakery and get yourself like a typical plate of food or like some breads, empanadas, whatever. Like
Mhm.
things that are like regular or normal to the locals there. So yeah, a lot. I actually treated a lot of the homies like just for us being out and like having a fun day of like skating, socializing. I took it upon myself to like treat everyone to like pizza, whatever. A dollar goes a long way out there too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I was able to like feed a lot of us for very cheap. But yeah, it was just I enjoyed it. That's all I can really say. Like I can't really. I guess I'm not being very specific about how I enjoyed it, but it was just that camaraderie that I had
Hmm.
built with everyone and established with everyone, and like it just felt like home. And to be honest, I didn't even want to come back. I was like, man, what? Like I should stay here. That's how I felt. But life and responsibilities and all
Yeah.
those things are kind of in the way of that, and I just can't abandon my life and responsibilities here in New York and in the United States. So
Well,
had to come back, but I really am looking forward to going back and having more time there to like do more skating and just kind of spending more time with everyone.
and one of the questions I want to ask you is like, how did this trip come up? Like, did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to
No, no,
them?
no. I mean, like I said, I have old friends there, like my boy Alejo, who was like, who I was basically staying with,
Hmm.
who owns the skate shop out there. He like the last time I was there prior to this time was in 2022,
Hmm.
and the last pretty much 4 years we've just
Yeah.
stayed in contact. There was no like there was no huge gap of time where there was no communication. We'd always like stay in contact, and I'm like, man, I miss it out there. I really want to get back out there. I'm gonna see if I can make that happen. And he was like, let me know, my door's open. So I was like, all right. I'll see what I can do, and I'll get back to you. And it was just that organic, I guess you could say. The only agenda was skating, but like I said, due to the weather, it just kind of rained on my parade. But I made the best of it. I made the
Yeah.
best of it. It was an easy thing, like, to adjust and just kind of be there, chilling with everyone. To be
Yeah.
honest, but yeah, it was a great time, and hopefully next year when I go back, or if I get to go back, it's not raining so much, so I can
Yeah.
actually do more while I'm there. Because I was like I was so I think I brought motivation to them, because a couple of the guys I was skating with were telling me like, "Yo, before you showed up, we were just at the skate park. Like, no one was even out in the streets on the weekend. Like on Sundays. We only go out in the streets on Sundays, but nobody was doing that. And then
Hmm.
you came and you just kind of brought that energy and that motivation to like trying to make that happen. I was like really adamant about like, yo, if that's the only day, let's make it happen. Let's try to make it something happen. Unfortunately, it rained a lot of the
Yeah.
time, but like whenever we got out, we all like, because there's a lot of amazing skaters out there, man. There's these two in particular that stood out. Two of my homies. Well, his one dude we call Shakur. That's not his real name. That's his nickname.
Hmm.
And the other dude's name is Rami. These two guys are like, in my opinion, they're like pro level
Cool.
skateboarders. They just need the exposure.
Hmm.
They're working on. The cool thing is that what I left with them was like that motivation I spoke about, and they're all like trying to film parts now and all that stuff. They're like really working hard to try to put something together, and they all ride for my boy Alejo's skate shop Empire. So they're
Okay.
probably gonna make like an Empire video or something.
Dude, that's
So
sick.
yeah, I was just hyped that I was able to like kind of spark them up, a little bit.
And for you going out there, it's kind of like you just said, it was like a motivation to them to get them more energized and more out there, like to skate. And then
Yeah,
that's something that they're always going to remember you
yeah,
at,
yeah, for
like,
sure.
like
For
the
sure. They got
motivation.
a lot of younger kids coming up behind them too,
Hmm.
like 14, 15-year-old kids, like that are like they're there, that you can see the potential. It's just a matter of time and like maybe pushing themselves a little bit more to progress, but they're definitely there, And so I think if anything, like if I did motivate them, like I hope that they continue, and maybe if I get to go there next year, they're going to be like, yo, we're going to have a premiere for our video, or whatever, or at least show me like a you know pretty well developed body of work, like, yeah, check out everything we've been doing since you left.
That's pretty rad. And
Yeah,
so the skate culture is growing, or is it like pretty big, or is it like,
it's
or what?
it's gone through its I personally think it's gone through its fluctuation, like it's
Mhm.
waves of like it had a big scene and then it kind of died down, and like people got into other things, but it's always gone up and down. But
Mhm.
I think right now it's there. They have the skate park, which also my boy Alejo, who owns Empire, he helped design that skate park. It's a really, really good outdoor like skate park plaza. So they have that, and all the and they're at like the level, at least in my opinion, like it's just about putting something together that's gonna represent them all well.
Yeah. And
But
do
they
you?
have a flourishing scene right now, because the younger guys obviously are like the ones behind the two that I mentioned. They're hungry. They just need the like the direction, the guidance, maybe someone to film them, that little extra push. And I'm just
Mhm.
hoping my boy Alejo, because he's my age, so I'm hoping he gets motivated to do that, because he has like the only shop in Colombia, in that part of Colombia. He's pretty much like the supreme of that area. So I'm like,
Sick.
dude, you're like, you could be like, you know, the biggest thing to come out of here if all you need is that you know, that drive and to push that the culture a little bit more, you know. And he does do a lot for the community there. So I definitely have a lot of respect for him in that
That's
regard. And it's just, you know, now it's just about like, yo, let's, you know, let's push this a little further. That's all.
yeah. And what do you think that needs? You know, Empire and those skaters out there need to get that push. What do you think they need to get out there?
Well, they just need somebody like most skaters, you know, they need someone like motivated and driven to maybe document and put their skills, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because they have the talent. It's just about getting the exposure in order to get the, you know, whatever the support from brands, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I can do it, I would totally do it, but you know, I'm a very small business, so it's a lot harder for me than, let's say, a bigger, you know, a bigger
Yeah.
company with a lot of backing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they just need that's what I think they need, just like someone like my boy Alejo that would take on the role of like, yo, I'm gonna take these guys to spots, I'm gonna document, you know, film and shoot photos of these guys, and I'm gonna see what resources I personally have to try to get them some exposure while also trying to build like a video to help promote my business, you know,
Yeah.
the shop he has there. And I think it all just ties together. It's just a matter of like, you know, I was trying to talk to him in that regard, but I can only do so much because at the same time, I went there to skate. So I'm like, yo, you're not gonna go, or if you can't go for your, you know, obligations and other reasons, I'm gonna try to find a way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I did what I, like I said, I did what I could with limited resources there
Yeah.
and restrictions due to the weather and all that. But now that I know how things kind of work there, I'm so looking forward to going back there. And but if I go back there, I'm definitely bringing someone with me. So someone to be on like the same page with me, someone that's gonna like skate and rip, and also like knows how to film and whatnot, so we can like film each other and skate. Because that was they have so that Gali has so much potential, and I think it's like not slept on. I just think it's the focus isn't there
Mm-hmm.
because everyone focuses on Medellin, which is the big city. There's obviously, if it's a big city, there's a lot more options for skating, and it's up north, so the weather isn't so crucial, you know,
Yeah.
and there's the scene is a lot bigger there too, the skate scene. But I
And
think
what? Go ahead.
Cali's got like this like it's like the subculture almost,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so on the low, and it needs to people just need to get put on to like what's going on over there, and like the talent there, and then they'll see even the spots. Like that's why I'm talking so much about it now, because I'm just trying to just, you know, put emphasis on that part of Colombia, because it really is like it has so much potential.
And all it needs is just that one little push, that, you know, get that one skater
Yeah.
sponsored by a brand, and then
hmm
people be
And then
hyped.
it'll bring more like people like, oh, where this guy rides for whatever, or this person can support from this company, and then that company will show up, and just more people will gravitate there and see what it's about. You know, check out
You
like
ever
the from the spots to the food to the people to the skaters and the talent they have. Like the whole package is there. You know.
do you ever think about, like, one of the options is too is do like a big contest there?
Yeah, we've talked about that. Like
You
I
know, because
said, my boy Alejo designed like the main skate park plaza. It's like the Poods, since you're an SD. It's like the Poods of of Cali, Colombia. You know, so it's the they have like 3 or 4 really good parks, but I think this is like the main one, and so being that he helped design that place, worked directly with like the government there and all that to get the approval to do all that. I'm like, yo, we should do something. We should throw an event. I can bring out, my guys, and maybe we can like just make something beautiful happen for the community here. So these are all just like little discussions we've had. We haven't like solidified anything, but it's definitely on the table as an idea.
Yeah. Well, there's a contest. This guy hits me up, and I don't know how far he's in San Juan, and he does like a thing called Central American Interventional. So he does like contests.
He's in Puerto Rico?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know that's pretty far from you guys, right? Yeah. Okay. Because I know that's something you can probably hit him up, and maybe he can bring that over to Colombia.
Yeah. Manny in Puerto Rico, Manny Santiago does the Prince of Puerto Rico event. I think he does it every year. They're on their like 6th or 7th year now.
Mm-hmm.
One of my guys, Joseph Gill, I flew him out there one year to just to participate. I think he had him like as a guest judge or something. Like he went out there more to like skate before and after the contest. So they had him as like a guest skater, helping to judge the event. But like in that same spirit, like Manny having his event every year, and like where his bloodline is, I kind of want to do the same.
I'm about to say that.
yeah. I kind of want to do something similar, but obviously work with the community there, So that's why these things take a little bit of time,
Yeah. I mean, it'll be rad to have, a Rodney Torres contest going on over there.
I would not name it. I would not name it the Rodney Torres contest.
I know it would, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I know. I'm just the thing. I thought that was funny, but yeah, no. Yeah, man. There's a lot of ideas. It's just about which one are we going to, which one can we initiate first?
Yeah. And one of the questions I want to ask you, do you feel that like because like you just said in your, Cali, Colombia, there's a lot of good skaters. I mean, I live there, and, in all part of the world, there's probably places like Cali, Colombia that has so many good skaters. Do you feel like the industry needs to step out and explore a little more to those areas and certain areas and stuff like that to find new riders?
I don't think it would. I don't think that would hurt. I mean, especially if they're like, like I'm vouching for those 2 guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you got people that kind of have like those ties to the industry or those types of resources, for example, like vouching for these people for other brands, it's like, why not take a shot or take a chance and go like explore it for yourself and maybe meet those people, or someone like me in any part of the world could like introduce you to those people and make those connections. That way you'll have some form of representation for your brand,
Mm-hmm.
In other places. Like, and it's a little easier too with Instagram and all that stuff. You can like totally see what these people are about. But if I think it's better when you meet in person and you actually like skate and chill and get a little more familiar with who those people are. If you see them on Instagram, you're like, okay, yeah, they're good skateboarders, but personality goes a long way, and like just I don't know. I just think it's more important to meet people in person.
No, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, because you can watch people skate clips and on social media and stuff like that, but you don't know what their personalities or what they're like, or
right.
They're I don't want to say image, but they're just the way they present themselves.
Yeah. How they carry themselves, if they're good people, because like especially nowadays, everyone's good, man. But not everyone's maybe a good person, or whatever. Like maybe that's not a good example, but
I
you
know
know,
what you
like
mean.
it's just to kind of get to know someone and see if they even fit what you're, you know, if you're a brand, like your program, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because it's very important to find somebody, you know, that fits your program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you got to think about it. Like there's so many different teams and so many different personalities that ride for a company,
Hmm.
and you gotta, you know, it sucks to say you gotta find somebody to fit into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or similar like that, because there's always going to be that clash. You know, like,
yeah.
oh well, you know, this guy can't, you know, da 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 da. You know.
I've seen. I saw a Red Bull video that brought out like a bunch of guys. This was like I don't know, maybe a decade ago or over a decade ago. They brought out their guys, but it was, you know, it was their Red Bull agenda. Like obviously go there they went to Cali, they went all over Colombia. They from the south to the north or from the north to the south. I forget how they did it, but they went all around Colombia. They took like Tyler Surrey, I think he rides for Skate Mafia, and Angelo
Yeah.
Caro when he was super young. And I mean, they did their thing and they skated, and I'm sure they met like some of the locals that I mentioned, and even my boy Alejo, because he's like kind of like the you know, he's kind of like the mayor of that part of Colombia, in my
So
opinion.
so
But
he's like the king of Colombia or king of
no,
Cal.
no, king is not the right word. He's
But
just the guy that has the
like you're the
he has
king
the
of.
shop, he has the political connections, he's got the, you know, he's helped design the parks there. He's just kind of like hands on with the scene and the culture and community there with
Mhm.
skateboarding. So like I'm sure they met him and you know, but I don't nothing really other than like that amazing Red Bull video I saw, like that that came out of it. But like as far as maybe them seeing potential in some of the local talent there and wanting to support, that didn't happen, you know. So and I think it goes back to what I was saying about like they just need the exposure.
Mhm.
They need to be seen, and maybe that's where I come in. Who knows? If I can go there like once a year or twice a year, maybe I can go there because you know I like to film and edit as well as skate. So maybe I can make something happen there. You know,
Maybe
like
need
I'm
to
not
hear.
trying to exclude myself from what I'm suggesting. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just trying to see how everyone can like, you know, find a way to make something happen.
yeah, definitely. I mean, even like you said, like he had Ribble came out there decades ago, and I mean, if you get like, you know, any kind of exposure, like big,
Yeah.
I'm throwing this out in the universe, you know, SLS contest there, you know, at the plaza or
Oh
something.
wow, that would be insane. They like, um, yeah. I mean, they have like this Coliseum. I skated it like the first couple of tricks at the beginning of the little edit I made. That's the
Mhm.
Coliseum there.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
if, I mean, it's right next to the main, you know, the Poods of Cali. It's literally right there. You walk out of that Coliseum and you're at the skate park.
Oh, wow.
So like that would be amazing if they did something like that there, like a SLS or a PSL or something, you know, to bring, you know, more awareness to like skateboarding in general,
Hmm.
and obviously like to see if they can find some local talent, you know. That'd be sick.
And I think it's going to happen. I mean, you know,
It could.
it's, you know, with you backing it, you know, 100%, and you know, and going back out there, you know, visiting, skating, you know, having
Yeah,
a good
man.
time and stuff like that. I mean, that's definitely, you know, and people see you out there a lot more. I mean, the people are gonna be like, "Oh, what's Rodney
Yeah,
doing
for
out there?
sure.
What's going on
Yeah.
with him?" You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to like see if next year I could get like a handful of people, like kind of make a trip out of it. Like a, you know, at least that's the idea that I have. Like maybe I can make something happen where I can bring some of my guys or a couple of my guys with me, but also like like try to plan with other people to get out there and like maybe make an actual like kind of like what Red Bull did, you know, make like a whole trip out of it, but obviously include the locals there because At least the two I mentioned are really, really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas going in my head.
Hey, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe we can even
Yeah. I
figure
mean,
something
I have
out
to get my
together,
passport, but I mean, I have to renew my passport on this, and because there's a lot of places I want to travel, but I'm always like, I got to do my passport, but do I really want to do that? But if it's with you, hey, I'll jump on that in a second.
Sick. I appreciate that. Sick.
So,
But yeah, man, I was hyped to be there regardless of the weather. Like I said, the beautiful people, great food, great energy, great times. Uh, Happy that I got to skate the times that I did, and got to see. I have family there, so I got to see one of my cousins. But we hung out for a day. That was pretty cool. But everyone has their life already kind of set there. Like I said, I was the only one kind of like on a little vacay from reality. So I went over there and just did what I could, but enjoyed outside of not skating, enjoyed every minute of it.
hey, sometimes we need a vacay from reality. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm planning mine real soon. I'm like, I need to get out of San Diego.
Yeah, but you got to keep the show going. Wherever you go, you got to keep the show going.
Oh, I know. But sometimes I need a little break. I need just want to sit on the beach, go some fishing, drink some margaritas.
Man, you don't have to even go anywhere. You're in San Diego. You got a beautiful beach over there. Just that's it.
No,
You don't need
it's
to
true.
even-
It's true. But sometimes you got to go to a different paradise, somebody else's paradise.
Yeah.
But no,
True,
that's
true.
right. That's right. I mean, like I said, the edit was really dope, and
Thank you.
and inspired me. I was like, oh, dude, because I like seeing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I like seeing footage from other countries or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it takes you get to see what outside of America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to see what skateboarding is like. It's outside America. I mean, because
Yeah.
what we mostly see is like America, Japan, Brazil, and China, and that's it. You know what I mean? But we don't get to see like outside of that skate culture, that skate world.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm like I said, man. I have no real complaints. I really appreciated my time there, and I'm looking forward to more.
Well, let's talk more about this on when the time comes around.
Sounds good.
Maybe I'll cruise out with you and have a good time.
Hell yeah, that'd be amazing.
And so I want to talk a little bit about New York. So, growing up in New York and becoming pro in New York, what's it like, the skate scene in New York when you were growing up?
I mean, it was a little. It was different. It was different compared to how it is now. Not like. I mean, I think it's gone through a lot of different stages and phases and all that. All the different trends that have passed through time and encouraged by whatever. For me, like at least the times where I was kind of coming up in the city, it was in my opinion, it was just a little more raw. We didn't have much. It was a very like rebellious thing. It wasn't like
Corporate.
I don't know if I don't know if that's the right word. It's just more like now there's a lot more. There was always with skate, like especially when you looked up to like whoever, the Bones Brigade or whoever, like there was always incentive of wanting and striving for that and working for that. But I think there's a lot more now. There's a lot more perceptionally. There's a lot more incentive, like the Olympics and whatever, like a lot more money, a lot more this or that. So that's why I say I think it was a little bit more raw there, more raw then, but it's still like the progression has been insane. Like the level of ability of these kids now is it's no joke. I'm just happy to be here.
I mean, you grew up in Queens. I mean, that's a honor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. I think that I was fortunate just growing up. Like when I started going into the city, I was so young. I was like 13 years old.
Hmm.
But the place, the city's not far from where I live. Like Queens is part of New York City, but like to go into the borough of Manhattan from where I live in Queens, commuting there, it's like almost an hour, like by train or whatever. But if
Hmm.
you drive there, it's like maybe 20 minutes. It's not like a very without traffic. It's not very like far, but for a 13-year-old kid at that time, it was like extremely far. And the I was fortunate in like where I met like a lot of the dudes that I wound up looking up to. I met them all pretty much. I want to say first try, but I know that's not true. It's like over time. But I met everyone at the Brooklyn Banks.
Okay.
That was the first place I went to, and when I went there, like the scene was huge. There were so many. It was like a skate park. You didn't have to, plan anything with anybody, call anybody, like anybody you befriended or whatever. Like they were all there. You
Hmm.
know. So I guess I was fortunate in that sense because I got to like see what a lot of the guys were doing that I was looking up to at the time, like Jeff Pang and Harold Hunter, Ryan Hickey, Gino Iannucci, Huff, Chris Keefe. I mean, the list goes on and on. Like Ben Liversedge, there was all these dudes that were like the guys, and I was like the little kid looking up to all of them, like seeing the level they were at and aspiring to try to like get as close as possible. um,
Oh, yeah,
but yeah,
that's,
it was
that's
just kind of like I guess being in it in that regard, it was like it helped, you know.
mhm. Yeah.
But I was always also like I don't know. I feel like that kind of even to this day. Maybe it's just like an internal thing, but I always felt like I was the outcast, even amongst skaters. Like I only felt really comfortable skating with my like circle of friends that I grew up skating with, like
Hmm.
Rodney Cooper, my boy Rudy Cepeda, Homie Diaz, like the initial crew, and then everyone kind of went in their own direction. And then I met Gio Moya, who I'm still friends with all these guys to this day. I don't know if that says anything about what I'm trying to describe, but like that to me was always like the most comfortable, So
Hmm.
I always kind of felt like the outcast, even amongst the guys that I looked up to. But there was, I wasn't like intimidated or afraid. I just felt like maybe this, I don't know if I fit here. I don't know if I fit here.
Yeah.
But I know I fit here with these group of guys. These are my boys. But I still maintained like skating with all of them, with everyone, and
Yeah.
I have those friendships even with the guys I looked up to this day. It's just I don't know how to really if I'm explaining it correctly, but it's just it was like I got to a point where like I needed to just kind of do my own thing. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, I know what you mean. It's, I mean, having looking up to those guys and skating around those guys is definitely, would make me nerve wracking. You know what I mean? And I
Well,
get
it,
what
it
you're
didn't make me nerve wracking. That's the thing. Like I said, I wasn't intimidated. I just felt like the outcast among them.
saying.
So I was like, I think I'm just gonna do my own thing, and
Yeah.
I just did what I could, and like the come up for me was RB Umali. He like um,
Great film about
Felix
it.
Felix Arguelles had rhythm skateboards,
Yep.
and I don't know. Like I think he saw like a clip of me in a Transworld video or something, and RB Umali was like, I'm forever grateful to him because he connected those dots, and I wound up getting on rhythm and like you know being on there for like I don't know. I was on there for a while, six
Yeah, you
years
were.
or something like that. But but yeah, that was like my first initial like come up. Before
Hmm.
that, I had like local sponsors and I got like some love from New York, but there was nothing really like, there was no like definite thing happening there. So when
Mhm.
rhythm came about, it was like, that was my, the door that opened for me at that point in time, you know? But yeah, I guess it's through those types of come ups, and that kind of help comes from relationships, you know, meeting people, connecting with people, and them seeing whatever potential you may have, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No,
And I think me doing my own thing, in that regard, kind of helped. You know, it was like, well, this guy's, he's hungry, he's skating, he's producing. You know, he's not over here with us, but he's out here in New York doing his thing. And then someone else caught interest, and the same kind of thing happened like with Osiris. Like Canton Russell reached out to me out of the blue. I was already writing for a shoe brand,
mhm.
but there was, I don't know if there was really anything like a future there, to be honest. And then Canton hit me up, and that's how the Osiris thing happened. And I was also on there for a while. I tried to be as like I try to be as loyal to everyone as I can, like people that believe in me, you know.
Mhm.
But you know, some things are meant to be, some are not, you know.
No, and I get what you're saying, 100%. I mean, it's you just had to find your own niche
Yeah,
in a way that you can, you know, develop yourself. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
what I was trying to say earlier was not intimidation, that came out wrong, but what I was trying to say earlier was that you were you're admired by these awesome skaters that you grew up with, and trust me, they're legends. I would be the same way too.
Yeah,
Intimidated by them a little bit, and and what I'm trying to say too is that what you're saying is how my skateboarding was like. You know what I mean? Like I never got where I was, pro or am or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I had my own my own people I skated with, because it was like I felt comfortable with them, and I grew. But then the people that saw me skateboarding knew that I was a good skater, and they're like, this dude's ripping. Okay, cool.
yeah,
They had their eye on you, but they
yeah,
respected you. You know what I mean? But also,
yeah. Like it was a respect that had to get earned, though, you know, because I grew up in a time with a lot of people like from my era that were coming up, you know, that had I guess more of a, I don't know, I wouldn't say more. It was just like people from my era, like they were the people that I was like looking up to, gravitated more towards them than towards me. But
Mhm.
I had complete respect for them and admiration, and vice versa. But it was like, you know, like we talked about finding like a brand, maybe seeing something in someone and seeing how they fit into their program. It was like that type of thing,
Yeah.
where I kind of realized early on that like I can either go and like follow, or I can try to lead on my own, you know.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of like the I guess for a young kid trying to come up, it was like a tough decision to make, you know. But
Mhm.
it was like I got to try to figure this out, because if if the door isn't really opening for me here, then I got to make it happen somehow, you know.
Mhm.
And so that's like the gist of it. Like I'm trying to just I'm still out there skating. That should say something as well. Like
You're killing
like
it.
I'm still like hungry to be out there skating
Hmm.
and producing and doing what I've been doing pretty much my whole life. Like I started skating when I was 11 but I've always had skateboards growing up. Like I've dabbled in other sports, from like I was even in the freaking little league, like playing baseball. But like once I found, like I always had skateboards throughout all of that, like ninja boards we called them, because they were like the, you know,
The small
generic
skinny
like
boards
board with a freaking dragon on it, or an image of Bruce Lee on it, you know. I
or ants on it.
Yeah, something like, you know, the plastic tail guard and all that. But I always
Oh
had
man, you
like
bring me back in
I
time,
always
man.
had like skateboards growing up. But then it was like, it took one kid in my neighborhood to ollie up a curb. He was just on his way home probably, or to run an errand or whatever. And I literally, like, that's all it took for me to see that, and my whole trajectory changed. It was like, this is like, I ran up to the dude, stopped him. He taught me like how to ollie, and I was like figuring it out. And after that day, I just like I begged my parents to buy me a board and just never put the board down after that.
And
So like,
go ahead.
I still have that same like hunger and passion and drive and motivation to do all that stuff,
Yeah.
So
And go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's, I don't know if I went I don't know if I went too far with like trying to illustrate that, but
No. And what I was going to say to you is that's the same thing what happened with me, but a little bit different. Is I grew up with a lot of skateboards. I have two older brothers, so I always had skateboards around me. You know what I mean? And I dabbled it here and there, and but I also too I played street football and tried out for the basketball team. I didn't make it. Whatever, you know what I mean? So so I had that, but then what really got me to fully get into skateboarding was a good homie, a neighbor of mine. He was a legendary vert skater. Well, in our town, he was a legendary vert skater, and he killed it on vert. He skated with Scott Stanton and all those guys at the YMCA vert with Pete Kelly and all those guys. And one day he knocked on my door and handed me a Lance Mountain Powell Peralta board, complete, and said, "Here you go." And then that's when I never put down a board. So in a way, I get what you're saying, because it's I see it. We have the same path, but a different way. Of where we're at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, and I can't complain about it, man. It's been an amazing ride. I've got, through skateboarding, I was able to experience like seeing a lot of the world. My first trip even to San Diego was because of Rhythm,
Was it ASR?
Yeah, I think it was a trade show, yeah. But yeah, like I'm so thankful to skateboarding and like the opportunities that this little piece of wood has given me, and the people I've met, like yourself, like even this interview, like I'm grateful for this. I was flattered and honored when you reached out to me to do this, and I was like, man, like, and this is just from having like, a common bond with you, common interest, and like being passionate about something we have in common, So I don't know. I think I feel, to this day, I feel blessed by just the fact that I like found skateboarding, or skateboarding found me, and that I'm still doing it at this point in my life.
I mean, think about it. I mean, like you just said, I mean, you've done so much. I mean, you rode for, in my opinion, one of the best companies, Rhythm. You know what I mean? That was like one of my, other than Planet Earth, that was my second favorite company right there. Then
they were like sister companies anyway, not in the same distribution. But yeah, like Rhythm, when they put out Genesis, like I thought that was such a sick video. Ty Evans did such a great job, and like I couldn't believe that shortly after, sometime after that video came out, that I'm on the phone with Felix about writing for him. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was super flattered and honored to be a part of that brand during that time, and everyone who's given me a shot and like believed in me to some capacity, like I'm forever like grateful for and thankful for. And whoever supports my brand now, as well, like I'm super grateful and appreciative of the love and support that we've received.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you have paved the way for skateboarding. Honestly, if you really look at it, you really have. I mean, like, New York skateboarding, coming out of Queens, and not just you coming out of Queens. I mean, you had musicians like Nas, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Mobb Deep coming out there too. So I mean, you know, you got, and you're under there too with those guys. You know, Rodney
Yeah.
Torres coming out of Queens. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have we can't forget Chris and Jones Keefe
That's
and
true.
Peter Beasy. You know, there was a Huff. Even I mean, Huff is from Manhattan, but he had a stint where he lived in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Gio Moya. I mean, there's a big list of people out of Queens. You know, and these guys are older than me, so I definitely like looked up to them. Uh, as far as Queens representation, Peter Beasy was the shit. You know,
Hey, he was dope.
and he still rips. He still skates. I don't know if he's living in Miami now or what he's doing, but I know he's still ripping because he's got, you know, that fire still burns. You know.
Well, the fire burns in all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No
for
matter.
sure, for sure.
I mean,
I'm
look at
just
Steve
trying to like,
Caballero.
you know, I appreciate what you're saying about me and thank you. Like I'm flattered by that, but I can't not acknowledge the guys before me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, but Peter, that dude always ripped, dude. That dude was
Yeah,
so
hell
good.
yeah. Hell
His
yeah.
style, everything, dude.
Mad style, bro. Just he's sick. Sick with
Definitely,
it.
man. But I mean,
But
like I was saying, I mean, you know, you have done so much for skateboarding. I mean, you know,
I'm trying to be like the best yeah, I'm trying to represent my culture and my community as best as I can. You know, as an athlete, as an ambassador, you know, as a resident of this community. Like, you know, this has been my home forever. So I'm trying to, you know, do the best I can to represent this place well. You know.
oh, well, Queens is in your DNA, man. You're Queens.
I appreciate that. Yeah, even like when we, you know, being involved in the Maloof skate park, that's literally I could skate to it from my apartment. Just being involved in like the contributions to the design and like the actual physical build and bringing people in from the skate community in New York. You know, a lot of kids from Queens and you know and whatnot. Just like all of that is also something that like just meant a lot, you know, and it's
Mhm.
still like it's helping to breed like the next, you know, the next generation of kids. There's so many good kids have come out of just like skating at that park, you know.
Yeah, and that took a lot of hard work to do too. So I mean, because you had to work with the city and everything, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were considered. I personally like didn't have to do the work, but the project manager, Bill Manadio, who's also a good friend, you know, he was like, "Yo, if you want to help us out, like that's on you, and we appreciate that." And I was like, "Hell yeah," because like yeah, I could stand back and watch, but no, this is like where I grew up, like where I started skateboarding, and where
Mhm.
I grew up skateboarding, and like you know, it'll mean the world to me to like put my blood, sweat, and tears into this build. At least that was my mentality then, and being able to also bring in like local hires from the community to also lend a hand to help build this permanent skate park that we were getting in the borough of Queens. That meant a lot to all of us, and we put in some hours, man. That was my first and my last construction job.
You don't want to do it anymore.
No, I don't think I'm built for that kind of stuff, but it was definitely a great experience, and you know, everyone that worked on that, you know, contributed so much, you know.
Dude,
So
that's
I'm grateful to have that in my quote unquote backyard, so to speak.
so. Which one do you like better, skating that or Flushing Meadows?
I mean, it's in Flushing Meadows. You mean the
Oh,
Globe, right?
yeah.
It's literally like I can skate. It's right next to the Globe. Like,
Oh, it is.
it,
Okay.
yeah, it's like I can skate to it from the Globe. Like we'll usually either meet up at like me and my friends around here, like the guys I skate with around here. We'll either meet at the Globe and like warm up on flat or like on the ledges, and then
Mhm.
we'll go to the skate park and like skate the transition and the banks and the you know the Euro and whatever, and then we'll go back to the Globe. Like that's our little routine, you know, and we'll skate at the Globe and just have fun.
And that globe is a very famous spot, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, there's so much history in this part of town. Um, I mean the two World's Fairs. They actually had a third one, but I don't know if that one really was like, it didn't really embody the what the World's Fair was. It was more like a food festival, but it was still a great time.
dude, that's awesome. And like I said, I mean, and your company, how's your company doing?
It's doing. It's kind of a tough time, like in skateboarding, but like people are still supporting, which I'm so happy about. People are definitely supporting and wanting to see more, and we have some new stuff in the works. Everyone's kind of been on, like, as far as my roster guys, everyone's kind of been on like different agendas, like different schedules. Like
Okay.
Leo Heiner, for example, he's constantly traveling with Arizona Ice-T. He's like one of their riders, so, and
Hmm.
they have a crazy travel budget. So he's seen so much of the world just traveling and skating with that.
Oh, he's loving that.
Yeah, and then the same kind of applies to Dennis Miron, who's the other pro. But he's taking kind of a different route. Like he's getting a lot of attention for his photography, and
Mm.
clothing brands are like sending him out to like Paris for, fashion trade shows and stuff like that there. So um, everyone's kind of on different schedules, but now that I'm back, we've all kind of been in touch, and we're just gonna get right
Good,
back
good.
on it. You know.
Yeah. And where can and what people for the audience, Rodney owns, he's owns and started his own brand called Torres NYC, right?
Toro
Toro.
NYC.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Toro. Sorry.
Toro Skateboards is the company, but yeah, Toro NYC on Instagram with two R's. Toro NYC on Instagram, on um, all the social media platforms, and YouTube and all that. And if you want to support, um, you can shop online since you guys are based in San Diego um, at www.toronyc.com. And you can see like what we have available. Um, we have some retailers as well, domestically and internationally. Zoomies, I guess, would be probably your best bet for the listeners if
Hmm.
they wanted to go to like a Zoomies and either ask for Toro. They may have it available, they may not, but Zoomies does carry our products.
That's hear that, guys. So go out there and support Rodney. Support your local skater-owned brand, dude, because it's definitely we all need it out here.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that.
And two more questions before we take off. What's it like, running and owning your own brand? I mean, being pro for a company and riding for other companies and stuff like that, and now you're owning and running your own brand. I mean, what's
It's
like?
it's I mean it's not easy. It's for me it's not. I'm like a one in that regard. I'm like a one man show. I'm dealing with everyone, the team, the artist, any other contributor, the manufacturers, the distributors. I'm like the guy, whether it's through email or over the phone, any other clients, whether they want to buy stuff online or in person, anyone I meet. The beauty of it is that I get to go out and do what I love. And, I'm doing the best I can to raise as much awareness as I can towards the brand. And I'm also trying to help the people that are on the team that I believe in, and maybe the next, batch of people that are behind them. So all of that feels good, but it's like juggling a lot, and still trying to be the skateboarder because I'm still out there skating, and like I am getting support from other brands. Like I get love from Adidas, I get love from Ace Trucks. DeVille has been sending me, Bones wheels, Rockstar bearings. I mean, I'm still getting some love from people, so I'm still out there like trying to also maintain myself as an athlete. you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not easy, but I'm doing the best that I can.
And it's hard, you know what I mean? Like what people don't understand is like it's hard, you know, because if you don't have, you know, local skaters or skaters supporting, you know, not just local skate shops, but also too skater owned brands. I mean, it's tough, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a it's an interesting time. Let's just say that
Oh yeah.
it's an interesting time, and like the people who want to support will support. You know, if they
Oh
know,
yeah.
they know. Like I said, I'm doing everything that I can to raise as much awareness and put some more attention onto the brand and our riders.
Definitely. I mean, and I love your brand. I mean, I love all the stuff you guys do. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. For real. That means a lot to me, man. For real. Thank you.
And you know, I'm looking forward to seeing the Rodney Torres full part, man.
Yeah, that's funny. I put out that little minute edit, and like, you're probably like no exaggeration. You're probably like, at least as of right now, because I got back a week ago. So in the past week, I think I've heard from like maybe 15 people saying the same thing, and I'm like, that's interesting. That's interesting, but I would be down. You know, it's just a matter of like just I guess the discipline. I got to make the time and you know see if I can make it happen. Especially now that the season's finally changing. Like I said, we're in the 60s this weekend, and it's only going to go up. So this is the time to try to like at least get out there more and try to produce as much as I can.
Well, I'll make a deal with you. I'll make a deal with you here, Rodney. If you
What's
drop that full part, I will
Okay.
fly out to New York my first time to come to your video premiere.
Oh wow. Okay. The pressure's on. I'm having fun, man. And if I can, if I can make it happen, I definitely will. Like I said, I still have that drive and that hunger and that passion. So, yeah, if I can make it happen, I definitely will. We'll see. We'll see how things go between now and I don't know, maybe next year.
Oh yeah, I believe in you. I know you can do it, man. Because you're Rodney, dude. You have such a, seriously. I mean, what I mean by that is like you have such a good style, dude. Like, and
thank you.
And you know, you have a great personality, and so your personality, to me, it's to make you a good skateboarder, it's about your personality because your personality reflects your skateboarding style. You know what I mean?
For sure. I appreciate all of that, man. Thank you. Like that, it really does mean a lot. I don't hear stuff like that often, so it's flattering, and it's like I don't really know how to respond to it. But I'm being as honest as I can be. Like I really do appreciate it.
Oh no, you're good, man. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? That's all. And so like, it's just rad. You know what I mean? Like just to see you and a bunch of other people, still out there killing it, like Steve Cab and
oh man, yeah,
Tony and names just go on. You know what I mean? Chris Lambert.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like there's a lot of dudes that are. I mean, that to me is like the most inspiration. Like Steve Cab, man. I'm so psyched on anything that guy does. Like,
yeah,
he's just knowing that he's out there, like, whatever, no, like board sliding long flat bars and doing, still skating crazy on transition and all that. I'm just like, man, there is no, it's over when you say it's over. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Like sponsors, no sponsors, company, no company. Like if you really are about it, you're gonna do it. Like Rodney Mullen said, till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I totally respect that, and like I'm completely like in full like admiration of dudes like Steve Caballero for like the stuff they do, and maintain.
Yeah, definitely. And then one last question: what can you say to upcoming skaters, people that want to own their own brands? You can also do shout outs if you want to. Anything you want to do.
Okay.
This is your section.
Well, anyone, on the come up, just keep doing your thing, man. Like if you believe in yourself, that's really the first step. The second is just because everyone's got to live, so everyone might have jobs or other obligations. Just make the time for it. That involves a little bit of discipline, but or a lot of discipline depending on your situation. Just if you believe in yourself, that's the first step, and just make it happen. Just get out there as often as you can and work towards that. Set that goal and work towards it. And as far as owning a brand right now, man, it's really is a tough time. And from my understanding, it's like a really oversaturated market, but
Yep.
that's not to discourage anybody from, because it's the same formula applies. Like if you believe in something, just make it happen, man. There should be room for everybody, especially if it's something you love to do and you want to continue to do, like myself, and then shout outs. I mean, first I want to shout you out, my boy Tommie.
Yeah.
And the one-on-one podcast and True Skateboard Mag. I appreciate all of the love, all of the support. Thank you so much. Flattered by the compliments as well. Thank you. And shout out to anyone who's ever supported me on any capacity, from companies I've rode for to shops and distributors and people who have, and clients and customers, people who have supported what I'm doing now, and as well as my team. Like, those guys are amazing, and you're just gonna keep seeing more and more of them because they're that good. It's just about reconnecting with everybody now that I'm back and putting more stuff out there. That's all.
That's awesome, man. And hey, and listen, viewers, what Rodney said, you just got to believe and make it happen. And he's 100% right. And go out there and support your small, skater-owned brands, your local skate shop. Go get some boards from Toro Skateboards. You know where to find them. And Rodney, thank you so much for everything you have done for skateboarding and doing for skateboarding, and also to helping out, Cali, Columbia's skateboard community too, man. Because that's, those people, those skaters out there are definitely so hyped, 100%.
Yeah, I'm hyped on them. Like, everyone will see. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of time. That's all we got until we don't. So we're just gonna keep the wheels rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, hey, like I said, if you drop that video part, I'll fly out to New York. And remember, this will be my first time in New York ever. Actually, no, I've been to New York once, but in the airport when I was flying to South Africa. But that was it. I never experienced New York. I always try to stay away from the cold weather cities. I stayed in the warm.
Yeah, I feel that. But you can come out in the summer. The fall is, in my opinion, the best time in New York. You see the season change, all the beautiful colors. You can wear a sweatshirt out or a jacket, and it feels amazing just walking outside.
All right. So you're saying in the fall you'll be dropping a video part?
I'm not saying anything. I'm flattered that people have asked and suggested that. We'll see what happens.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Rodney, for coming on, man. And hey, I'm proud of you, 100% proud of you, what you're doing for the skateboard community all over the world, man. And just, you're killing it. That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks, Tommie. I appreciate it. And thank you always for having me, man. For real.
All right. Definitely, man. One love. Take care, man.
All right. Take care, bro.
Allez.
Lit.
I don't go on tour, I go to war.